I know we already had one this year, but given that Raw is about to be exclusive to USA and SmackDown is about to be exclusive to Fox, WWE has just decided they're going to run another draft. I know, it's ridiculous, it's silly, let's all just smile and deal with it. The thing is, this one may be far different to ones we've seen in the past because really, if you take numbers and metrics into account, SmackDown is now the A show and Raw is the B show. And if you've been following professional wrestling for a long time, you know it's never been like that. Monday nights is basically Vince McMahon's baby. But it does mean, like I say, that this version of the draft could be more fun, could be more interesting, and could raise a few eyebrows. Like, just how exactly is World Wrestling Entertainment trademark going to balance this out? Well, let's do it. Let's go through the thing. And here's how WWE should book that damn draft. We'll start with the so-called top guys in the company, which I believe are Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. And quite interestingly, right now, if you do look at it from afar, Rollins is kind of get the Roman Reigns 2016 treatment, but I guess that happens when, you do act like an angsty teenager. Eventually your mum tells you to go to your room, you go to your room, you paint the walls all black, you listen to Papa Roach, this is my, you know how it goes. But straight up, you can't have both of them on the same brand. That would be ridiculous, and you would run the risk of tanking whichever show got neither of them. Also, you don't want to piss USA off. I know that they're the long-term partner in all of this, and by all accounts, WWE and them have a good relationship. But all it takes is one bad move, and then you're in a whole world of pain. You can't just be like, oh, Fox is my secret affair lover, so screw you, long-term wife, husband, whatever, don't work. That's why you basically keep it how it is, especially because when you have been looking at the SmackDown advertising, Roman Reigns, the Rig Dog, is all over that, and you don't want to piss off any fans that have decided, oh, I will watch Friday Night SmackDown because I like Roman Reigns, and then he's not there. So Roman can fly the red flag, other way around, the blue flag. Seth can fly the red flag, and everything should be all right. At least that's how I see it. There's a similar debate to have when it comes to the major women in the company. I mean, you got to figure the reason WWE are running Sasha Banks and Bayley versus Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair on the first ever episode on Fox is because eventually they are going to go their separate ways. Now, you may be thinking, well, Sasha Banks and Bayley are friends. I guess WWE would keep them together. But actually, I think we're going to go the other way. And once again, we're basically going to stay the course. The wild card ruined all this, but on paper, I think Becky and Sasha were meant to be Raw superstars, and I think Charlotte and Bayley were meant to be SmackDown ones. I mean, I could be wrong. Again, the wild card came along and just burned everything down. But talking about burning things to the ground, that's why I think Becky Lynch will stay on Raw, because she has a relationship with Seth Rollins. And again, even though she has been figured into the commercials for SmackDown, oh, she comes, she's really, really good. I don't think WWE will run a risk upsetting those two, and on top of that, she is the Raw Women's Champion. Banks can follow her there because there's every chance Sasha wins the Raw Women's Championship at Hell in a Cell, but if you put them both on Monday nights, their program can continue over there, and I would bet my ass that within the next 3 weeks, Charlotte Flair is your new SmackDown Women's Champion after beating Bayley. That's why those two go to Friday. And that's right, I said bet my ass. I am putting my bottom on the line, which means if I'm wrong, I don't have an ass anymore. That is called confidence. Next up is the Intercontinental and United States Championship, and this is where we start to have some fun. Now, by the time you see this video, by the time this video goes live, Raw may have come or gone the season premiere of Raw, which means you've already seen Cedric Alexander versus AJ Styles. But my prediction, when you build it into the draft too, is I somehow, even though it makes no sense for the story, but I think Cedric Alexander will win that championship, which frees up AJ Styles, the phenomenal one, to head on over to SmackDown. I think he's too versatile and too good not to be on the show that WWE wants to push the most. And again, while it is ludicrous, because he only moved to Raw recently, everything's out the window now, so we can just do whatever the hell we like. And because of that, the OC, Gallows and Anderson probably go with him too. Also explains why they lost so easily to the Viking Raiders on Raw, because WWE are looking down the line as they are wont to do, and they think, well, it doesn't matter, because they're going to be on a completely different night soon anyway. That also leaves Nakamura on SmackDown with his championship. And really, it doesn't matter what happens with Shinsuke these days. He just kind of floats through WWE, even though he is a damn hero. As long as he's happy. Right, so we do have to figure that some teams are going to get broken up because WWE loves to do that, and I think it's finally time to pull the trigger on sending the New Day in different directions. As I'm against the New Day, I still like the New Day. I just think it would be something interesting, and it would be a storyline that people would probably get invested in. Also, if Kofi Kingston is going to lose the WWE title to Brock Lesnar, which I think he will, I think that serves as a lovely see ya point. Big E also has single star written all over him, and you could get some real emotion from this, and you could even team up Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston as a tag team, because let's face it, when all is said and done, WWE is absolutely going to need more tag teams. We're not going to be able to go, oh man, we need to put a new pairing on this show, so we'll just do it, because who cares about the roster divide? That's all going when we do go to Fox and USA. So that works, and it means that Big E can go to Raw and hopefully finally smash it. I tell you, if one day Big E is the world champion, I ain't gonna be mad. Dolph Ziggler and Bobby Roode can also stay on Monday nights, and I think we move Heavy Machinery there as well, especially because they too are gonna have a championship match on Raw, which again, you may have already seen. But hey, there's a feud right there. You shouldn't just do a one and done, so eat that crap out. The Revival will likely go to SmackDown because I always see them as like the polar opposite to Heavy Machinery. So wherever Heavy Machinery are, Dash and Dawson go the other way. And hey, maybe they even have another match with the New Day, because we haven't done that too many times now, have we? Secret, yes we have. And that's how you kick off all of that. And you do the Revival versus the New Day. The New Day's a different team. I don't know. The tag team division is in desperate need of something, but once again, I'm keeping everything crossed. This is where it starts. Outside of that, it's hard. I mean, if we take someone like Kevin Owens, he could technically go three ways. He obviously has this big ladder match on that episode of SmackDown where he does go against Shane McMahon, and whoever loses has to leave something. They say the company, but it will probably just turn out to be SmackDown Live. But here's the thing with that. It means if Kevin Owens does lose, and please my word, do not let Kevin Owens lose, but there is a narrative in there where although he does get defeated, he turns up on Raw, or hell, maybe he even turns up on NXT. You could do that in the draft and you could create some buzz. On the flip side to that, of course, is that Fox wants SmackDown to be a more sports-orientated show. Shane McMahon is more of a sports entertainment character, so I would figure that Kevin Owens beats him, stays on SmackDown, and then hell, just move Shane to Raw if that's what you want to do. I can do my wiggle thing, everything will be fine, kinda. I think if you do the latter and KO stays on Fridays, Braun Strowman probably stays on Mondays for the reasons I just pointed out. Once again, he's less sports and more sports entertainment. And while that is different for Bray Wyatt, who's like the embodiment of everything, and that Fox executives have asked WWE, hey, can we have him? Sounds like Paul Heyman loves Bray Wyatt way too much. The Fiend will stay on Raw. Otherwise, you can go wherever you want with everybody else, with Brock Lesnar being the exception. He'll be allowed to go to Raw or SmackDown because WWE sees him as a mainstream star. But no matter what happens, I really do hope we don't forget to now, renew Buddy Murphy's push or do the same for a Cedric Alexander or people like that. Same goes for Chad Gable, and now let's bring in Daniel Bryan, Luke Harper and Eric Rowan. Now, my worry about Luke Harper, especially if you do follow or keep up to date with his social media, is that he believes once Hell in a Cell is done, WWE isn't going to use him anymore and he will fade back into the distance. Because, just go look at his Instagram. Look what he writes. He ain't happy in that company. At the very least, maybe they just split them up, which means you've got Harper on Raw and Rowan on SmackDown or vice versa. And of course, for everything I've just said, if Daniel Bryan stayed on SmackDown, you would have Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles on the same brand, which seems awfully unfair. But again, I think when all is said and done, WWE may prop up SmackDown just a little bit more. And how do you do that? With two of the greatest wrestlers of all time. There's also a ton of other wrestlers who need a home. There's Ali, there's Rusev, there's Sami Zayn, there's Cesaro, there's Carmella, there's Dana Brooke, there's Naomi. We could go on for days, but I actually think these are going to change probably around about 77 times before we even get to the draft, because it depends how Vince McMahon feels when he wakes up every day. One day Rusev could be Raw, then he could be SmackDown, then maybe he thinks, we'll put him on NXT, then go, wouldn't it be funny to go on 205 Live? We're not gonna know, so we kind of just have to sit those ones out. The key to all of this though is, what do you think? Who should go where? How important is this draft? And is it actually going to be one of the best things to happen to WWE for some time? Because if you do go through the history of this, what usually happens is, we have a brand split for around about a day, and then it all just falls out the window. But you can't do it this time because WWE has made promises to Fox, and WWE has made promises for the USA. So along with pyro and new sets and new music and new camera angles, maybe this is a new dawn for WWE. And I, for one, obviously am very excited. I'd be excited if they said a bug was going to win the World Championship. I'd find a way to pull the positives out of it. But I tell you, it makes you a happier person. You go kick ass, WWE. Don't screw up the draft. Now, don't forget to leave a comment below and let us know what you think about the draft. Again, like I just said, I want all your opinions down there. Like, share, and subscribe. Head over to WhatCulture.com. There's going to be a lot of information there about said draft. Follow WhatCulture on Twitter, WhatCulture WWE, and keep it here on WhatCulture Wrestling. We're about to enter the craziest week in wrestling history, maybe. You could argue that if you want. You gotta make sure you see everything coming into your face. My name is Simon from WhatCulture. Thank you very much for watching, and I'm intrigued and I am pumped to see what WWE does, especially with my man Rusev. And hey, Finn Balor, he's gone away. He's got to come back. If Bray Wyatt's on Raw, do we put him on Raw to continue that feud, or do we put him on SmackDown to hopefully down the line, because I'm sure they'll do another one in a year and a half, to tease that and get people excited. There is plenty of directions they could go. The real question is, what does Mojo Rawley do? And that's not a joke, I am being serious. I am still desperate to find out what the deal with the mirror and the blue face paint is. Here I stand in September 2019, about to move into October. You'll probably see this in October. And I still have absolutely zero idea what the hell that was all about. So WWE, if you could choose Raw or SmackDown or NXT, you were down there for a minute, and just allow me to figure out what this was, I'd appreciate it. I'd give you a tip of a cap. Everyone likes a tip of a cap. And finally, I could sleep again at night. The amount of times I'm up in bed going, what the flip with Mojo Rawley and his blue face? Or Mojo, if you watch this video, tweet me. Tweet WhatCulture. Tweet somebody. Let me know. See ya.